You think if I just keep adding vents, add as much as I can, it's gonna make the roof cooler, it's gonna make it healthier, just keep adding stuff to the top of the roof. It can actually work to your detriment because it can actually short circuit the system. You don't wanna mix multiple different styles on top of the roof. They'll work against each other. So case in point, I went to a re-roofing client. He needs a new roof. And just recently, he had a power fan installed on the roof, and he loves this thing. He thinks this thing is just the cat's meow. This thing is gonna get all that heat out of the attic and do a great job. He can hear it kick on. He's, okay, it's kicking on. I can hear the motor running. It's working. The problem is he has can vents on his roof. So they're little turtle vents. You've probably seen them on a million roofs. The can vents that go across the very top of the roof. They let all the heat out of your attic in the summer, and they let the moisture out of your attic in the winter. The problem is when he put that can vent on, or that power fan on, every time it turns on, it's gonna pull air from the path of least resistance. Your roof is built in, let's say, basically an A-frame. You have a top, you have a bottom. The cool, dry air we want to pull in comes from underneath the eave. So if you walked out your front door, you looked up and looked underneath the eave, you'll see a little vent under there. That vent is designed to pull the cool, dry air from outside into the attic space. Goes up into the attic, mixes with the warm, moist air, then it goes out the top of the roof. That's what the power fan's supposed to do. So if you have can vents, only can vents. If you have power fans, only power fans, because when that thing turns on, again, we want it pulling from the bottom. The problem with this roof is he has two can vents right next to that power fan. So when it turns on, it's not pulling from the bottom. It's pulling from the two can vents on the roof right next to it. So where's the hottest part on your roof? At the top. So now when it turns on, it's sucking hot air back inside exhaust vents. So those exhaust vents have now become intake vents. They're not designed for that. We're sucking hot air back in the can vents and recycling. He's probably helping the attic a little bit. He's sucking some of the hot air out of there, but a fraction of what it could because it's short circuiting the system. So you want to do one type of vent on the roof and that's it. Pick either a ridge vent, pick either power fans, or pick can vents. Only one style, that's it. Don't mix and match. If you're going to have a power fan and the roof is too big, you can't mix with other things, you may have to have two power fans. Those need to be connected to each other so that they turn on at the same time. You don't want one to kick on and make the other one turn into an intake. They need to be wired together. And the biggest mistake you see is homeowners go to a big box store, they buy a power fan, they put it in, they think, this is great. It's only a thermostat. Well, we're a high humidity area here. You need to have not just a thermostat, but a humidistat also. In the winter, we want to get the moisture out. That's a big one that you'll see contractors do. They'll only put the one type of power fan. Every roof is different. We can't just say, well, we're going to do this on every roof. It doesn't work. If you can, ridge vent is by far the best. If the roof will take it. You have to have enough lineal feet on the top of the roof to put that on. Some roofs, we just don't have the room. We'll have to go to a power vent or a hip vent or some other kind of vent. But if you have a choice and you're able to, ridge vent is by far the best thing you can do. There's no dead air spots. So it vents all the way across the entire ridge line. Can vents, there's dead air in between. They look ugly. The ridge vent is almost invisible. It's less cutting on the roof, less protrusions on the roof. It's just the best thing. You know, the builder actually put a ridge vent on my home 16 years ago and it functions great. I love it. So that's the right thing to do with ventilation. I'm going to put a plug in here for Air Vent Incorporated. Fantastic company. We go to their training every single year. They've got fantastic videos on their website. You can go there, you'll see Paul, you'll love him. He talks about ventilation and the right way to do it. So go to Air Vent Incorporated, go to their website, they'll talk about everything we just talked about.